No, it's not. Looks like we're good. Excellent. Getting my live show set up. There's new things here I don't like. Oh no. Oh no, there's new stuff. I don't know what all this new stuff is. Hopefully the live show is working properly. I don't like change. They keep changing things and making things new, and now I don't know what the hell is going on. Hopefully everything is going good. I'll have people start coming in. We're going to do a live show and we're going to talk about Sasquatch. You, in fact, are watching. Ash K is on today. Yay! So, welcome back, Ashley. Let's see. Oh, look at this. And we have immediately made Ashley a moderator. So, Ash K is now a managing moderator for the channel. That's absolutely fantastic. So Ashley will be on the live show today. That is my Ashley, the Ashley that does expeditions with me, my lady, the incredible, amazing. What a gift to have a woman who is so nature infused, so in love with nature and the wilderness, and out there, absolutely devoted, like ridiculously so, devoted to this discovery process. Thank you for tuning in again, Andy. Always appreciate you. Uh, and there's Mr. Penner. Good day, sir. If I ever stop doing the live show, I have how many people that can run this live show? Like, how cool would it be for just like Andy and Ashley and James and Royal Creations? And we've actually even lost people. Remember Michigan Wildlife and oh, I forgot the whole name, but a wonderful gentleman who's passed away. So it's time's ticking, isn't it? And the pressure is on, right? Never forget, like we only have so much time. I'm so devoted. I'm so focused on this discovery process. We are doing things this year, ladies and gentlemen, that I have never done before. And if we're not doing things that have never been done before, then just fire my ass. Like, I'm not allowed to be a Sasquatch researcher anymore. You're doing the same freaking thing over and over and expecting a different result. And I don't deserve to be a full-time Sasquatch researcher. I don't deserve your support if I'm not pushing the limits, taking things to the next level. Like, I'm actually scared this year. I'm fearful of going over that mountain with expeditioners into the harshest, craziest habitat. Like, you think what we've been doing before is awesome, which it is. We are going next level. It's going to be over and over. Brian, my friend, so my McCall native elder, wonderful to see you here today, sir. Came back from Nia Bay a month and a half ago, approximately, from an incredible expedition where we just have so much success. I'm very excited to put up some new videos where Ashley and I did some recon at the research area, and it's so exciting. Like, oh, mind blowing. I'm literally telling expeditioners now, you already have a show. Like, there was Ashley and I had encounters with shadowy sightings, and a sighting of a shadowy figure off in the distance that just was really like mimicking or mirroring me, as Ashley called it. Like, oh my God, guys, this is just going to be such an unprecedented year. And I've decided that I will be walking around. This will be me walking around this year. So this camera, it'll be like this. So this is the lens will be up where I can see at any time. A camera not as good as this filmed Kubota at about 250 yards. One of the most incredible pieces of footage I have. The one where Jeff Meldrum looked at it and couldn't feel like he was looking in the eyes of a living being. Incredible, incredible image of Kubota, the black-faced, dark looking Sasquatch with dark eyes. So, yeah, I'm excited. This is the Canon SX70 HS. Incredible piece of equipment, like tough. Its predecessor, I had the SX50. This is the SX70. It does indeed have, let's turn it on here. I can actually operate this thing in the dark. Is the battery dead? Battery's dead. That'll be the issue. I got to buy a whole bunch of batteries. But the lens just extends out like that. It's incredible. And then the reason we got footage from Kubota, I'll talk about this specifically, and my Patreon followers are all getting, and my expeditioners are all getting copies of Kubota coming up. They're also going to get this segment of the documentary nobody's ever seen before, the new California footage. That's the only new footage I have, is the California footage. That's going to be out there and be available in the next little while. Actually, no, we have other footage, don't we? We do. There's other footage I'm going to have to think about what we're going to do with. It's just Bill, not Billy. I've got a Billy and a Bill. Bill and Billy were both on this expedition. Filmed the Sasquatch, half of the body, lower body, taking a couple steps, pretty spectacular, amazing. We got to do a breakdown of that. So, like, how much is going on right now? It's so incredible. I'm so excited. The Comanche, the retired Air Force animal expert, and the Army sniper are all in. Like, tickets bought, airlines, planes. Oh my God! And then, so I've got a great recon expedition with the father and daughter, which is going to be so fun, Brad. But after that, we have a heart surgeon, like a top world-leading heart surgeon, and his son with a Scotsman from Scotland with a Scottish accent, and he's a badger expert. He's like a wildlife biologist, badger expert. So, like, what? And then, on and on. It never stops. After that, we've got got an all-lady expedition with some very impressive credentialed ladies. I expect Ashley will be on that one a lot. Ashley's just coming out like crazy every second weekend, or she'll be doing tons of time out there. She's just so literally obsessed is the correct word with this discovery process. And then after that, with Ashley, I'm hoping I've got two men, a firefighter and Sean Jeter, going to the top of Radium, doing the crazy Radium hike. And I want Ashley to come on that. On the Radium hike, we've got upper and lower Radium sections, the upper lower Radium mountain. Ashley and I will go separate from Sean and my firefighter, and then we'll switch, and we'll be up there for probably 3 days, maybe 4, depending on the weather. So how awesome, how amazing, how fantastic is 2025 already? I had a special thing about the number 5s last year, and I knew the 5s were coming into my life. Everything was 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. There's Royal, and Ashley's back on. Just so when one of my moderators, James, Ashley, Royal, or Andy, maintenance worker, any of these people that are on here, for those of you who don't know, they'll answer questions. Like, they'll just answer questions because they're absolutely astonishing. They've been, literally, you guys have done like 100 live shows with me. I've done over 100 live shows, and they've been here like dedicated. So that is absolutely amazing. Jocelyn says to infinity and beyond. Like, I'm so excited about that. Sasquatch Confessions always has good questions. What was the last time you physically saw a Sasquatch? A couple weeks ago. So I didn't physically see one in Nia Bay, but I'm talking like I saw a Sasquatch 100%. Just, it's what happens is I say a dark figure, but between trees you see a large figure moving, right? It's clearly a Sasquatch. And what happened was, so I look over as I'm walking, and so he's like mirroring me. It was amazing. So he moves over behind a tree like this, and so I stop and I look, Ashley's behind me, and then I turn around and I move back, and he moves back away. So he's moving in a mirror with me. Why did my phone just go dimmer? I can't hardly see anything. I love this new app. No, I don't. I can barely see anything now. It sucks. What the heck did you do to me before? So anyways, yeah, and then Ashley confirmed that we were clearly out there because a Sasquatch called us. Just let me do something. Hopefully I don't lose you guys. I have to do this because I can't. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I had to fix the brightness. It was going down. So yeah, just a couple weeks ago. And then I don't know, like, I hadn't been on expedition before Nia Bay all the way back into October. In October we had sightings that were amazing. Yeah, it's not been very long. And I had an eyewitness accounting substantiated by, like, we found the busted tree, and we heard a Sasquatch clear as day. The Sasquatch had been doing other things. There's going to be a video about it. I've already got it on my phone. I just got to put it up. I've just been busy working with Discovering Bigfoot Part 2, the series. Whether it's going to be a Netflix series or an Amazon Prime series or all that stuff. It's going to be some kind of series. So greetings, Royal Creations, says the research family. We are a research family. What's going on? Hey, Frank! I was just bragging about you. So Frank is going to be. Oh, I can't add any more moderators because I was talking about my army sniper. Boom, there he is, and I actually have permission. So we're going to in this expedition. We're going to do something I've never done before. We're going to film the hell out of the pain, out of the grind, out of what makes it so hard, like day and night. So I'm taking out the toughest individuals I could find, and I'm gonna push these dudes, until one of us breaks, pretty much, or we run out of time and go home. What was it, about 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago. Ashley can talk about it here too. Again, I'll put the video up, guys. It's coming. So Andy says, please subscribe. I appreciate that. Access to 530 videos and tons more. Intuition is strong. Yeah, what's amazing too is when they so Ashley and I are talking, we're just kind of getting the campsite organized and ready to go. And these Sasquatch are making little sounds. I'm hearing little sounds. And then finally, just like a flash, like a big tree break, a busted tree that we found that had been busted over for us. It was very, very loud. And it's a Sasquatch. We go out there and then we hear them and they move around and we get the sighting, right? So that's when your intuition can be really strong because you just got called out there by a Sasquatch. I mean, the busted over tree was 150 yards from where we were at base camp. So amazing, amazing stuff. Gary Burton, Todd, do ravens follow groups of Bigfoot around? I don't think so. Eating their spoils. Eating their spoils. What Bigfoot does with a kill? They probably just pick it up and take it back to the crew. I've actually seen that. I've seen where they pick up, like, a deer's nothing for them to pick up. An elk would be nothing. I don't think they'd have any trouble with the moose. And they probably just hunt in two or threes. So, I mean, they're just hunting for them is gonna be so freaking easy, guys. Like, it's just gonna be simple. Just another day at the office, right? One spooks the moose, gets it to move in another way. I mean, they could hit the moose with infrasound and stun it. There are just so many ways, like, for them to eat. It's just awesome. But what they do with the kill after, it's just speculation. On multiple occasions, I've seen them pick up the kill. Like I saw them pick up a cow elk. Not saw, but I saw the trackway of them chasing down a cow elk. For whatever reason, he was going after, and yeah, he killed her in the snow. You could see the kill spot. This was in Montana. He picked her up and left with her. Like, what's a cow elk? 650, 800 pounds in Montana? That's enormous. But to a Sasquatch, and it was the snow was about 2 feet deep. So yeah, that was pretty awesome to see. Hector says, I'm an investigator for NAWAC. I don't see any B in there. So is that a Bigfoot investigation group? And have heard some incredible recollections and had some amazing personal encounters myself. I'm always happy to be around like-minded individuals. It's cool, right? And we don't mind detractors. We don't mind people that are pessimistic, people that are doubters. Just I love the hard questions. And Royal, I heard, and I don't know if this is true, but a gentleman from New Zealand said that, Royal, you're being too hard on people. So I don't know. I didn't see any evidence of that, but there was that accusation put out. So I'd ask Royal Creations. Well, if people are swearing, though, take them off. Like, I don't know. Somebody just said that he felt that you were taking off too many things, and I like tough questions, right, guys? Like, don't be afraid to let those tough questions go on. So make sure, just hatred, right? Like swearing, someone, being defecating to even to somebody else. Like, no, we don't tolerate any of that. So if that's going on, if someone's being, even don't even swear, like F and FF, you're out. And probably Royal's doing that. So if you want, so to that person who said, Hector Tamales, if you send an email to discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com, you can give me some info. I'll give you a free Jane photograph immediately, and then you can tell me what's going on with what you're seeing at the NAWAC, because I'm always interested. So grow your hair back. I can't grow my hair back. It's gone. Don't be a bum. Hit that thumb. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Hit the thumb ups. Request a photo too. Yeah, just go to, the Kubota one. I'm going to have to work all this stuff out, guys. So it'll be downloads, and I want this stuff out there, So there's a whole business to this that I'm only one person. I didn't hire anybody. I've been promising a lot of my colleagues that I would hire people to come and work and do this. It's so freaking much. And I could nobody who in the there's nobody in the world that can sell Sasquatch photographs like that. Like look at that. Look at that Jane photograph. Isn't that gorgeous? Like I have collections of these things and they should all be available on Amazon and Etsy and Printify and all that kind of stuff. I just haven't done that. And I tried and it's not easy. Shopify, I mean, it was hard. It was complicated and it was a crap show. I was really pissed off about it because mostly I want these out there. I want this stuff out there, but I have to have copyrights and there's a business to it and I have to do that properly. So I'm really just trying to figure that out. If you want to become a Patreon follower, my Patreons are getting all this stuff like crazy. So that's the link to Patreon. Kubota, yes, says Jocelyn. Willie Deutt and Betty Deutt. Hello all. Where are the cameras and camp going to be set up? Oh yeah, so Logan is coming out to do that June 7th ish. So he's going to go. So he's going to go out with Ashley before a couple days before I go out on the expedition. Is that before the second? Before the second expedition. So and they'll go have some fun. So there you go, June. That's so Ashley's answered the question already. Come on the Scotsman and rooting for you, bro. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, and he'll be so fun. That's so cool. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Sasquatch Confessions. Todd and Ash K, best team. Again, I appreciate the compliment. I don't like the word best. We are, my God, there are so many amazing people I have the privilege of working with, like elders and PhDs and just hardworking men and intelligent men and women of all walks of life. But it's great. Just as an example with Ashley and I, is that we complement each other because she's a little more one way and I'm a little more another, and we approach this differently, and that makes us twice as effective. Because she's not Todd Standing, she's not, and I'm not Ashley, and she's beautiful in ways that are just not so much the physical and the prettiness. She's beautiful in nature. She's beautiful in her femininity. She's beautiful in the way she loves the wilderness and Mother Nature, and that's so beautiful. And we're all of us in the Sasquatch community are so lucky to have that because I'm not that, not at all. For a free Sasquatch photo, there you go. Thank you, Andy. Man, you're on top of everything. Did he go into the tree? I've watched Sasquatch this many times. Did he go into the tree? No. Well, so you're talking about like some kind of interdimensional thing? No, he was there. I've never seen them do anything. I've never seen a Sasquatch do anything, disappear or do anything magical, anything like that ever. They're always corporeal. They're always physical. I've never seen them do disappearing things like that. That was a perfect example. He was just walking behind trees, and it's also multiple layers of trees. He was 150 yards away from me uphill a bit. So he's walking on a ridge, and so he's up on a ridge, and since he's mirroring me, so I come when I go away, he comes down the ridge, but then I disappear into thicker trees and I can't see him. But when he was here, if I move towards him, the hill goes down like that, right? So as he's mirroring me, he's disappearing down the ridge, and I actually don't come up till here. So he's got high ground. He's mirroring me like this, and as I move towards him, he goes down, and then there's this big hill in the way. If that makes sense. So yeah, but it was awesome. I have nothing. So Macduff says Scotland the Brave, and isn't that great? This is a legit Scotsman, so that's so cool. Bigfoot live stream. Oh, there we go. Can't wait to come out and set up the new feeds. There's Logan right there. So Bigfoot live stream is my bro Logan. He's got many videos on my YouTube channel, and he's got the Discovering Bigfoot app, is what I believe it's called, and that's so great. Discovering Bigfoot Part 2 is coming out, and Logan's cooperating. Logan's doing such a great job of cooperating with like Survivor Man and other groups and talking to other people. Because I have to admit, like there's a lot of groups that are not agreeable to the way I do things, and that's fine. Like very, very disagreeable, and life goes on. But I don't support that. I have no problem getting along with people that I really, don't like or don't get along with, or it's not personal. This is nothing personal. This is about moving the discovery process forward. And I think when it's challenging to work with someone, that precipitates better results because you're working harder to to be challenged, right? So as long as, again, I don't tolerate people swearing and threatening and, you know, I don't want to name any names, but lying. If I catch you lying, like there was a guy who was kind of famous in the Sasquatch community, claimed that I'd pointed a gun at one of his friends on expedition, and just the stupidest crap. That individual, when you're a liar and you're dishonest and you're angry and hateful, I will stay away from those kind of people. But as you can see, I'm not naming names. Just let them. You can figure out who they are yourself. I don't use profanity. I'm not a swear guy. Neither is John Benedigo, Les Stroud. Like John Benedigo, Les Stroud, Jeff Meldrum, these people that I've had the privilege and honor of working with, that I've had incredible success with, they don't hardly swear at all. Like I know Jeff doesn't, and John certainly doesn't. And Les, Les will have a beer with you, and Les will chill out. But if you hear Les swear, he's really pissed off. Like there's a reason for it. So, but Les Stroud, even though he's a harder, you know, kind of rougher guy than the two PhDs I talked about, he's still a gentleman and intelligent, and yeah, I just think it's amazing. Ash, would you like to join the moderator directory? I would like her to do that. Global warming, is it true? Is what true? So the person's name is global warming. Is Bigfoot true? Yes. I spoke with Lewis. That's awesome. For maybe an hour or two. Yes. Really cool dude. So the expedition is going to be awesome. So Lewis is the airborne retired animal expert. Frank. So I got them together. I always like to be transparent. So the Comanche, 3/4 Comanche gentleman, he wants to just come fly on the wall. He's kind of a filmmaker. He's got some special qualities about him that he wants to just keep quiet and reveal on the expedition, let it come out. And I really like that. So he's not going to be able to be a fly on the wall. There's only 4 of us. And Lewis and Frank will talk with him and get stuff out of him. But so he doesn't want to, he's given me a lot of information and been very personal with me. But Frank and Lewis, he just wants to meet them there, go out in the wilderness with them. He's got a plan, and I really appreciate his perspectives. What I can tell you is he's an introvert, and he's an animal attractor. He's a powerful empath. Like he's Comanche, right? Like he's legit. So he's got serious. I've worked with quite a few native people, like real indigenous. And one thing I will tell you from experience is they're special in the wilderness. When you get them out there and you let them just be, there's something very special about them. It's very different. It's very unique. It's very connected. And I'd like to be jealous, but I'm not. I'm in admiration. So I love that. And that's just the way it is. So enough said about that. Not true. I'm not there. Don't know what Sasquatch conventions mean with that. Glenn says, glad to be here. You guys rock. Thank you, Glenn. We do. I feel like we rock. I do. You look like Kratos of the God of War. Kratos. Well, that's cool. Not so much. Salute from the Marines. Thank you, Marvin. Super cool. Sasquatch. Thank you, Todd. You just confirmed my higher self, my intuition. Awesome. Intuition is so. Guys, seriously, like you are literally looking for a needle in a haystack with Sasquatch. You're going to spend your whole life sorting through straws, hay. You have to attract it. You have to be a magnet, and you have to find that needle. This is all about inner work. I'm telling you this because I can talk about Grover Krantz, Renee Hinden, Peter Green, John Byrne, all these great men that spend their whole lives, decades and decades, between the 3 of them, or the 4 of those, they call them the 4 horsemen of Sasquatch. I can think of another one, even 5. Between those 5 men, 40 years each, that's 200 years of Sasquatch research. And, they did great interviews. They did great stuff. They did great investigations, but did they ever see a Sasquatch? No, not really. So I don't think any of them ever really saw a Sasquatch. That's why this is all about inner work. So inner work, guys. Like inner work is the most important thing. So that's spirituality, if you want to call it that. It's your telepathy. It's your inner work. I didn't understand way back in the beginning how I was having success, because I would feel my way along and I would use the inner. I just did it by instinct, if that makes sense. So my intuition, and my telepathy and my spirituality was instinctual, which was brilliant, just brilliant. I had Survivor Man on the first year accuse me of faking stuff because I would just like out in an ocean of trees. I would go to a spot and I would go to a spot. He's like, this just doesn't make any sense. Like, how are you doing that? Like, you must be setting this up. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. But he was skeptical. And then one day he said, okay, boy, let's go up to this ridge. He goes, ever been over there? I go, no, I've never been over. This is in Nordegg. He goes, ever? You've never been there? I go, no. He goes, so I believe you. He just picked a spot. Let's go northeast from this position. Let's see what you can do, boy. And right in there, boom, started find the spots. I just kept, he's like, how are you doing this? And I'm like, I don't know, they're just there. And I really didn't know. But after, thinking about, actually, you know what? After having a really bad personal year, like a horribly inner destructive year where I didn't have those intuitions, found nothing. If I was just out there looking, like, using stats, using probabilities, fail, 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 fail. I was like, what the hell why am I failing so badly? That was when I actually quit doing Sasquatch because I was so damaged internally. I didn't have my instinct, my intuition, my telepathy, my spirituality was just so closed off. I was failing utterly. It was brutal and I had a horrible time. So I had to reset and come back. And that's what's so wonderful about all the new people in my life and all this new manner of thinking and all this new evidence and stuff out there. Um, that really, I think all the, I don't want to say this, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, but I can really see people that are getting really good success are focused on the inner work. And that's attracting, that's instinct, that is literally everything with this discovery process. If you don't have this, you have my sympathy. You will not have good success just based on the probabilities and the odds. You're good luck finding a needle in a haystack. So, that's the way it is. Dana says, does Discovering Bigfoot 2 capture the same magic that 1 captured? Discovering Bigfoot 1. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's great in a different way. It doesn't have as much footage. The footage isn't nearly as good. So I don't know. You'll have to decide that for yourself. I've been doing things differently and I've changed everything that I'm doing. I'm just not doing research the way I used to. And so I'm precipitating all new. It's more about teaching. It's more about taking people out and showing them. And it's less about killing it backcountry, doing it alone. And that way, doing it backcountry and doing it by myself precipitated better video evidence. And that shouldn't be hard for anybody to understand. A lone hunter has way more success. So when a hunter goes out, let's say whitetail bucks, a very coveted species in North America, if there's 2 of them, the odds are you're 4 times less likely to have success because you put up more scent, more sound, more, it's just bad, bad, bad. So 1 hunter is 4 times more likely to get success than 2 hunters. And then 3 hunters, forget about it. It's exponential. You're 16 times less likely to have success. So it works that way with Sasquatch research as well. It's really, it's just, that's what I've seen, and that's the way it is. Love your channel. Thank you, K Hung. Well, so K Hug, I'll say, from Australia. I have a lady coming up from Australia on the all lady expedition. First expedition in July from Australia. She's an elderly nurse therapist. Really, it kind of reminds me of Diane Fossey. So very, very passionate about this. Really excited to go do this. And there are Sasquatch in Australia. They're called the Yowie, and I'm 99% convinced that they exist. I am 100% convinced they exist. There's no way there's no Yowie. It's just, there's too much evidence and I've heard too many stories and it resonates with me. It just makes sense. How long are female Sasquatch pregnant? What Marvin just totally, gorillas, chimpanzees, humans are all around 9-10 months, or between 8 months and 10 months. So probably longer, right? Because of the size difference. So the bigger you are, like elephants were they pregnant for like 2 years? So the bigger the mammal, the longer it takes. But gorillas are, the males are 400 pounds. It's pretty big. What are the females? Half that, 200 pounds, 180. So their gestation period is not that much longer. So maybe if I was to speculate, I would probably think 10, 11 months. Very interesting question, though. A more interesting question would be that I've been pondering is, do they know? So gorillas, chimpanzees, human beings, orangutans, all of these primate species that were all in the same category, the females ovulate monthly. So every month they can get pregnant. In the zoos, they literally give gorillas human birth control pills. The females, every day they give them human birth control pills on human cycles. So the Sasquatch are obviously going to be the same. But what my question is that I don't know the answer to is, so what happens in nature is animals become pregnant based on their gestation period, having the offspring born in the spring. That's why all the new life. And then babies have spring, summer, and fall to prepare for the harsh winters. It's absolutely essential for a certain animal's survival in the ecology, like, northern US and then all the way through Canada. It's essential because the young have a hard time surviving. My question would be, do the Sasquatch know that if we mate now, the baby will be born in spring? So are the Sasquatch babies born in spring, or are they just randomly born? Because I can't see that. My God, there could be some issues. And I say could because I'm not sure. I don't know how amazing and how astonishing the Sasquatch could give birth in January or February, in the coldest month, even like November, December, where the baby would have all this harshness to go through, but not. What if they just found a thermal cave? And they do. So, but again, it would be just advantageous for spring births. It'd be much more. No one's going to argue that. Doesn't matter how tough or amazing you are. It's better to have the baby in the spring, because a baby in the spring, or even late spring, if you could time that, that would be amazing. That's what nature does. So do the Sasquatch do that? And I would say they probably do, but again, I have no evidence to substantiate this. But my theory would be they probably do, and if they do, it's not based on instinct. It's based on intellect, the knowing, breed now to have a baby then. And that wouldn't even surprise me in the least that they were that brilliant. So Sasquatch do eat meat, deer, elk, and other animals. Yes. Well, I'm actually, in fact, on my second week of the carnivore diet. So, man, it's been tough because I love meat. I'm starting to not love it so much. That's all I eat. So I'm over 7 days, 8 days, 9 days. Yeah. So I'm in my second week of the carnivore diet. And because it's a cleaning diet, and I really want to cleanse, I'd like to get rid of the cold that I've had quite often. It does seem to be subsiding a bit. I just want to be so healthy. So I'm literally just in this incredible cleansing stage right now. I'm going to take it up. I'm going to end it around the first expedition. Maybe take it into. I haven't decided if I could do it on the expedition or not. It's going to be hard, but I'll have at least 18 days of the carnivore diet before expedition starts. So I'm pretty happy about that. And because the reason I'm saying this too is because Sasquatch, people were like, well, there's not enough berries and blah blah blah. Well, we didn't know about the carnivore diet. We were comparing them to gorillas, chimpanzees, and orangutans that live in tropical climates, even subtropical. We're not. We're winter. Like, this is harsh, brutal climate. So the point is, human beings can thrive on carnivore diets, and obviously the Sasquatch could too. And not only that, but there's really, like, the rose hips. If you know when to eat the rose hips when the berries are ripe, like, of course you're going to take advantage of those bounties in nature when they pop up. When the strawberries pop up, you're going to go strawberries with, and know about the rose hips. And rose hips, man, what a miracle I think they are in nature, because scurvy is such a reality. And rose hips can last so well. Like, even in the winter when they're all messed up, you could gather them and keep them. And rose hips are really high in vitamin C. So that would be my answer to scurvy. Do you think the Bluff Creek massacre is real? Yeah, from what I don't like to speculate. If it's what I think it is, that's where Jane, or sorry, Patty was the shooting and stuff there. It's If that's the case of it, because Bluff Creek is where Patty was filmed. So I know for a fact, just from what I was around Jeff Meldrum when that sort of came out, and there were a lot of lies in there. But because there were lies, does it mean it's not true? I don't know. But there was a lot of deception, a lot of lies. It really upset Jeff Meldrum. People were claiming to get information from Mrs. Patterson. And I don't know who has access to Mrs. Patterson, but I know Jeff is one of the few, if not one of the only people that has access to her in the Bigfoot community. And he contacted her and said, is this true about the Bluff Creek thing? And she said, no, that's not true. Have you been contacted? And she said, no, it's not true. So Jeff Meldrum went around quite upset because he's quite protective of Mrs. Patterson. and called people bald-faced liars because he busted them lying. He was upset. He was upset to the point where I was at a conference with him, and one individual started talking about it, and I actually said, like, you should just maybe exit. I didn't know Jeff could get that upset. Uh, and again, he wasn't like out of control. I was just like, Jeff, the guy's got to do his speaking. Just let's just leave it. Like, enough said. You're obviously upset about this, and he takes that stuff personal. Um, I like that about Jeff, though. He has no tolerance for liars and BS. He's the kind of colleague you can expect to have a tremendous amount of integrity. Oh, I didn't turn off my thing. So I didn't get to read that. So I just got a text. Let me go down there. Someone said embrace the journey. So I'm gonna scroll down here. Ash K, I've seen it, and he was also cloaked in the tree. Okay, so Ash has a cloaking perspective, and that's really cool. Love this stuff. I'm coming, Todd. Been watching you for years, I believe. Thank you, Universal K9 Inc., Sasquatch Confessions, Ash's answering stuff. Hi, Ashley. It's fantastic. Oh, okay. I'm way at the top here. I'm probably gonna get in trouble. AI Trino, all that stuff is stupid. Where to learn and communicate. So Al Triano says all that stuff is stupid. Where to learn and communicate. I don't know what he means. I have my own encounter, but I don't know if it's worthy of putting up here. Well, Donna, I just love to hear about it. So send me an email, discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com. Les doesn't talk to you because you're a scam. Well, that's a lie. So Caesar Zeppeli, so I'm glad you put it on. You're a freaking liar. I can talk to Les whenever I want. Les doesn't talk to you. Embrace the journey. I don't get the whole message, Ash, when you send it. So yeah, you're a complete freaking liar. And have a nice day. He does talk to me, and of course I'm not a scam. Les supports me. I could call Les out here tomorrow. So this people like you are very deceptive, dishonest. Yeah, you're a liar. So, and you're not welcome here. And if you go start propagating that stuff, you liar, you dishonest human being, you're just propagating lies and a sickness and a bad thing. So yeah, I don't have any respect for you at all. We'd love to hear about it. To Donna, yeah, there we go. Jocelyn, is Todd, she is too beautiful and just being in the woods. Tell the truth, Todd. Are you talking about Ashley? Yeah, it's so true. Caesar, if you think, oh yeah, so he's just talking about that liar. So I'm assuming James started deleting his lies. I see your question, local Sasquatch conventions. Chosen people like myself have had Sasquatch walk with them their entire life to protect us. Yeah, they totally protect me. Have they been doing it my whole life? I'm ignorant to that truth. So John B says, oh, greatest Sasquatch investigator ever. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. Joyce, Todd, looking at you are having Bigfoot traits with your beard and eyebrows. The color as well. Yeah, okay, thank you for that. So enthusiasm isn't enough. I want to see one so badly. I would leave it all to the apples. Yeah, enthusiasm can get you in trouble. Too much enthusiasm. You can ask a lady expedition, was that 2 years ago now, which was garnering incredible success. I screwed it up because I got so excited that the Sasquatch were coming around that they left because I was overly enthusiastic, to say the least. I got giddy. I was excited. The Sasquatch were like, yeah, I'm so excited. And they're like, what's the matter with you? And they left. So yeah, you've got to really control your enthusiasm. You got to understand the energy. So they're coming around because you have a certain energy, right? And let's say this is your energy, this is positive, and that's negative. So they're here because of that. So if you switch that energy, even though it's positive, it's craziness, right? Like you get, so crazy, Sasquatch, like that's crazy energy. You do that, and they will leave. And I'm telling you this from experience because I have failed doing that in the last couple of years. You have to maintain the energy that got you there, right? You can't be surprised. You want a Sasquatch to come around, they finally come around. Like, be grateful, but don't go off the deep end because you'll lose the moment. Speaking from experience. So it makes sense, and something to really think about. Try to maintain. So if you're seeing a Sasquatch, it's because you've done something and there's something special about you. So all you have to do is maintain that to garner success. If you change by becoming overly enthusiastic, by getting crazy and overexcited, oh my God, then you've switched your energy, and they'll recognize that and you will repel them. And I'm saying this from real serious mistakes and experience. Did Ash K keep you reset? Ash K does so many great things for me. I don't even know where to start. So I'm just grateful for all that. Dizzle says, hi, local Sasquatch, you call someone deceitful, not cool. That's it is what it is. Hi Todd. We caught somebody lying completely because that's a complete lie. Hi Todd, love watching your show. I've learned a lot from watching your videos. Thank you very much. That's the whole point of them, and that makes me very happy. To everybody who gave a thumbs up, all 38 of them, thank you very much. Sasquatch are on every continent. Oh, okay. I don't know if that's true or not. The Australian Yowie are real. I've been eye to eye with one in the Glenbrook National Park. Man, I'd love to hear about that. This is Bearded Urban Explorers. Man, if you would send me that stuff, I'd be so grateful to hear about that. Maryland's a hot spot for them. That's fantastic. Sasquatch encounter experience. Yes, send us that stuff. We'd love to hear about it. So Barry Holmes, do you believe Sasquatch are migratory? They'll get no, I don't know. They'll move. Like there's not going to be some kind of set pattern. Individuals will do individual things. Individuals will have to move to prevent inbreeding. Individuals will move because they want to move, north, south, whatever. And through telepathy, man, can you imagine how much of the world would be your oyster if you could telepathically remote speak with a Sasquatch in Florida when you live in Alaska, when in Washington, when you live in the Adirondacks? You know what I mean? So I can't even imagine. I can't. It just blows my mind. It's really next level stuff about what they're capable of because they're clearly immensely telepathic. Like we know about remote speaking, remote viewing. These are realities. Go watch the show Third Eye Spies. The governments have been doing this stuff for decades. It's an absolute reality. Telepathy is totally, totally real. Thousand percent. I've done that, I've experienced it. Many of you have. In fact, every expedition that comes out with me, I prove they're telepathic in the first 10 minutes, and then we just move on from there. We move very fluidly forward because I've never met a human being who wasn't telepathic or somebody that I could converse with, somebody I had that was on my frequency and could mesh up with me. Well, that's expeditioners, that's colleagues, that's friends, and we see eye to eye, and then I can get them. I'm sure there are people that are zombies and drones out there that can't see the freaking forest, the trees. Every meathead that voted for Carney here in Canada, not telepathic, like zombie, not good. So bad things. I don't want to get into politics too much, but how is the carnivore diet different from the keto diet? I don't know. I'm in ketosis. You know, I don't know that it is different. Those I'm not a dietitian. I just doing carnivore. Great to see you on here, Todd. Thank you very much for having me, Judy. Donnie says Barry Holmes. I'd like to think they do because Todd has explained that there's parts of the year that you don't just simply. Well, so if you're talking about migration, like yeah, I have crap time in August. I believe they move to where the salmon are spawning. So they follow food sources, and then that's why migratory patterns happen. It's just going to be so complicated, guys. It's just not a simple thing. There goes Ash. Just meat. Oh, I'm not eating just red meat though. I'm not gonna lie. Today I had eggs and a ton of salmon, and then a whole bunch of bison. Uh, but I'm not just eating red meat. I'm not that kind of a pure I need chicken. I need to have some variety for God's sake. I can't just eat red meat. So we have them down here in Australia. That's awesome. See, there you go. Look at all these people talking about yowies. I love that. So Donna, Sasquatch families tend to frequent the same territories. I see that. I see individuals in a territory a lot. Um, that I can attest to. Are Sasquatch a social society? Yes. Providing assistance to their Sasquatch? Yes. I've seen tons of evidence of that. They're tribal groups. This is based on what I've experienced now. My theory is that the tribal group has a tribal leader that has, and the males seem to have monogamous females, monogamous couples in a tribal area. They're not like gorillas where there's a dominant male who has multiple females. I don't believe that to be the case, and I have little bits of evidence to prove it. But that's instinctual. That's in my heart. I feel that to be true. So, do you fast? And if you do, for how long? I've only done 48-hour fasts. I think fasts are great. I'm really about nutrition, health, eating healthy, physically fit, training, staying in shape, drinking good, clean, structured water. I mean, I'm I'm Ash K's partner, and out of all the people I've ever met in my life, This is like you understand, I've taken out people from Los Angeles, like divas and, really annoying people. There's never been anybody that's been tighter with food than Ashley. Like never. Nobody even comes close. Like she blows everybody out of the water. And that's a really good thing. She gets pissed right off at me because she loves me. And if I eat something that's not organic, she gets really upset with me and gives me a really hard time about it. And I'm actually really grateful for that because she just does that because she really cares. She cares about my children. She cares about her children. She cares about her family. So she's very passionately uh, into extremely healthy food. I was, I was great. Like let's say, there's people that are poor, people that are good, people that are very good. I was great, but Ashley is the highest level of excellence when it comes to healthy food and whatnot. There's a lot of people she's mentoring about how to eat and stuff, and her stuff is all coming into my expedition. She's changed Gatorades out of my expeditions now with this incredible new organic beverage. Cliff bars that have soy is bad, guys. Oh my god, stay away from soy. It's so bad for men and women, like so bad. And that's Cliff bars. All these protein bars, they're just soy. Even a lot of these organic cereals, it's organic soy. Don't do that. Take it out of your life. It's just so bad for you. It's harder and harder to find good sources of protein, and so that's why I'm switching out. I'm not using Cliff bars anymore and Builder bars and these different bars I was using before because their protein source is soy. So get that out of there. So first read about Sasquatch 52 years ago. Hello, Glenn. Thank you for sharing that with us. MK Davis started the rumor of the massacre. That's who was at the festival, was MK Davis, and that's who Jeff was pissed at. I really, the whole Sasquatch massacre thing, Jeff just was so angry at MK. He was really pissed off, caught him being lying, and then so I just stayed out of it. I don't know much about MK Davies. Is it Davies or Davis? Um, I just have my people now, and I never had an affiliation with MK Davis. And then there was other people. I think How to Hunt got involved in that, and yeah, just ran with it and blew it up. And so yeah, just not a good situation. I live in the UK in Wigan near Manchester. Have been many sightings recently. Really? Has been? I have Manchester. I took out two Englishmen from Manchester. We had an excellent expedition, and they believe there's Sasquatch out there. So it's Stuart and his son were excellent. James, his son James, were excellent expeditioners. I was very happy to have them. And if you go on Instagram, it's Stuart on Instagram. You can contact him. He knows me personally because we bled together out in the bush. We did a father-son expedition where I went out with my son for the first time. James is the same age as my son, and so what an incredible one of one of the most heartfelt expeditions of all time. I got to go out with my boy who started to grow up, and another man's boy, and I learned so much about just being a father and nature and wilderness, and it was pretty fantastic. So yeah, no fear, just love. Yeah, go on to Instagram and look up Stuart and get a hold of him, or email me, discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com. I'll hook you guys up because Stuart's actually boots on the ground trained. Like if Stuart calls me and says, "Dude, there's tracks and tree breaks out here," as much as I doubt there could be Sasquatch in the UK anywheres, I'd have to reconsider it because a trained individual would be telling me otherwise, and that means a lot. Todd, you're the best. Getting Bigfoot on videos, sure is. Yeah, well, my stuff is absolutely real. Dr. Meldrum, awesome guy, great choice of words while speaking. He is so brilliant. I'll show you my shirt too, guys. This is kind of cool. Bigfoot saw me, but nobody believes him. I wear the shirt a lot. I don't know where I got it from. If you gave it to me, thank you. I really like it. It's comfortable. Hey Todd, when are the radium cameras going up? Yeah, in just June. There goes Ash again. Thanks, Ash. Mid love to hear about MD sightings. Donna, you single-handedly give me inspiration for the discovery and the species. Your knowledge and perspectives is what truly. And that's freaking why we're here. Like, let me get a little crazy. That's why I'm here. That's what this is about. If I hide stuff, if I'm not transparent with you guys, I risk my life to do this stuff. I push. We go. I've done the dumbest things. I should be dead 10 times. Sasquatch have kept me alive 5 times at least I could think of. I'd be dead as dead. What's the purpose of pushing so hard if you're not going to share it, if you're not going to put it out there, if you're not going to be transparent. And I'm just going to continue to do that for you guys. You ask me how often do you guys ask me a question where I can't answer that? Like, I think I've done that twice in 100 live shows, 100 plus live shows. So I'm going to be so transparent. I'm going to be open and honest with you. And if you can give that back to me, Donna, if you can give that back to me, Sasquatch Confessions, Royal Creations, all you people that are doing things, you all part of this cooperation. If we're like 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, all of us creating all this makes us, 10,000 powerful. And I just love that. I hope you guys can understand that. I have no interest in competing with anybody in Sasquatch. And if you do try to compete with me, you're in trouble. That's a mistake because I do very well in competition. And the problem is I'm not really competing. I'm just cooperating. So you think you're versing me, you're not. You are versing Les Stroud because he is a colleague and a friend of mine forever. I will always respect Les Stroud. And of course he will of me too. The pressure is always on me though, right? Survivor Man built up his greatness by doing survival TV and all the amazing stuff he did. I built up my greatness with Sasquatch footage. So I have the risk here because people doubt the validity of my footage. They don't doubt the validity, for the most part, of his survival techniques and his survival ability. But I'm the one that has that pressure. So I'll always be friends to Les. And just because of what I know, because I am telling the truth, and because I really did film Bigfoot, I know he'll always be a friend of mine. So I'm with Dr. Meldrum on putting up with liars and be. Yeah, it's sometimes it gets. You got to call a spade, right? Like someone starts lying, like this guy. You're not friends with Les Stroud because you're a scam. No, dude. Like there's like James Penner, Ashley's on here. I don't know how many other expeditions. My native elder, maintenance worker, my colleague and deep personal friend, right? Brian's on here. They know. They've been out with me, boots on the freaking ground. Like they've bled with me. They've worked with me. They've been through trials and tribulations. They've seen the struggles that we've all been through. So, saying something like that, like you're just a lying deceiver and you're promoting sickness. And I'm here saying, eat your healthy, good food, get your exercise. I care about you. You matter. Go make the world a better place. Drink your structured water. You know what I mean? Like I'm giving it to you guys with absolute positivity. That's light is the way to get rid of the darkness. Martin Luther King, great man. What did he say? Something I could never ever get out of my mind is darkness only creates more darkness. Light gets rid of the darkness. And that is a gosh darn absolute heart and soul truth that you cannot deny. So if you are being darkness, trying to get rid of darkness, what is that going to do? You must be light. That's the only hope we have. So that's all I'm about, is lighting you guys up, teaching you guys what I can. And that's very passionate about that. I've had this happen. Sasquatch Confessions says, when I found there's tracks, it's very, and you know what's super cool? Sasquatch Confessions, man, if you guys find a track, like take the pictures, measure it, blah, 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 it's such a beautiful spiritual experience. Don't ever miss this. Take your shoe off your foot with your naked, bare foot, put it in the Sasquatch track and feel the energy. See what happens. I tell you, I've seen people come to tears. I've seen men just be like, what is happening to me? What am I feeling right now? Like it's the most incredible experience. I've done it many times. Now, when an expeditioner finds a track, I say, okay, we've done it, we documented it, the track's there. And you're not going to wreck it. Just put your foot in it, because the last being that put their foot in that was a Sasquatch. And man, you should be able to feel that. And I have never, every time, this is what's incredible, totally incredible, is I have seen evidence, and I believe through what I've seen and what I feel, the Sasquatch leave a track for a particular individual. The Sasquatch will go, Ashley's coming here, boom, and put a foot mark in the ground and leave it for Ashley. Ashley feels that energy and finds it. There's no arguing that. Ashley is out there freaking finding things through energy, finding needles in the haystack after, over and over. I've shown that in videos. So when the Sasquatch do that, when they leave that track and then that person finds that energy, and then so that energy of the track is emanating, and you can't argue this, guys. I'll explain it a little better to you. This is so important. The energy from that's emanating, and an empathic human being comes along and feels that, and then you put your foot in the epicenter of it, and it's done for you. Boom! What a spiritual experience. And I'll explain this all to you because we can do this with science. I don't know if I've ever talked about this, So the way the natives used to track people is they're empaths, and they can feel. So you know what scent particles are? Scent particles have energy on them, and I can prove this 100 times over with tracking dogs. So these scent particles have energy, and you can feel them. That's how the old Indians used to track people anywhere. They'd follow your scent particles. They have trouble in the rivers because there's no scent particles. Same thing as dogs. If Indians were trying to evade Indians, they'd mess around with their scent particles because Indians would follow the energy of that. So that energy, the scent is going to be strong. So the particles of scent that are going to be are strong energy, and an empath should be able to feel that. And when you put your foot in the ground where a Sasquatch, the energy in that moment, again, let's use Ashley because this has actually happened to her. He's thinking, he's probably, Ashley's around, and he's thinking of her, and he's mind speaking with her, and he goes, I like you. You are beautiful and amazing. Boom. And he puts all that energy about how he's thinking and feeling about Ashley, leaving that track for her. She finds it, puts her naked foot in there, her bare foot in there, and feels that energy. Just it is absolutely awesome. It's happened probably 20 times on expedition now, and what a beautiful experience that is. Like that will change your life if you ever. But this doesn't have to happen on my expedition. It can happen to any of you. If you ever have that opportunity again, document the track. Take all the pictures you want. Put your foot in it after. Can you imagine the greatness of that? I have done that. I wish that upon all of you. Ever find a track, put your foot in there and feel into it. That's amazing. Todd, stop listening to people who will never go out there but criticize from the living room. Oh well, I'll address them, but yeah, I agree with you. In fact, the continent thing. So Sasquatch Confessions. Lisa, I grew up about 12, 15 miles from Ohio, from the Ohio Howl was recorded. Saw one when I was 5, 6 old. That's fantastic. I would love to hear about that. They do not migrate. And as migration goes, I would absolutely concur with Sasquatch Confessions. In all the knowledge I have, I don't see this migration. Actually, isn't migration more about changing seasons, right? I don't see that. So don't see that at all. Would you like to go on expedition with Todd, Kyle, or Ashley for more info? And actually, I'll tell you this: I've pretty much, Mr. Penner. I'll make it public. Looks like we're in the final days of making the deal, sealing the deal. James Penner is going to guide out only 2 men um, on expedition. Men that are very, one has congenital heart failure and is very ill and not doing well. He wants to go on an expedition. He's not fit enough to do the backcountry hiking, so James is going to take him. And James and him and another gentleman who's also just doesn't want to do the hiking, the backcountry for whatever reason. So this is an experiment with me because Kyle hiked people around, Ashley hikes people around. Ashley doesn't really do that, actually, does she? She's not killing it out there. Her lady she took out was very conservative. But lady expeditions are a whole other ballpark. And I would much, that's definitely a goal, is to have Ashley do lady expeditions still protected by me though. I can't get around not being her protector. That's just not good, and I just don't like it when she's out there protecting herself. It's something I'm dealing with right now. I'm trying to work through this, but yeah. So James is taking out 2 individuals. So now we have the ability to take out people that are not fit, that are not in great shape, that are injured, or even also because James is gonna they're not gonna go more than 200-300 yards from base camp. They're going to drive around a truck. They're going to look at things that are close and acute, and then at night, or even around daytime, hope they have success around base camp because 80% of the sightings we have are within 300 yards of base camp. So that's absolutely great. Um, and he's coming. I only have one more question to do because it's my hour is up. Jamie Cashmore. Hi Todd. Do you think Bigfoot can shapeshift? No. Myth. I don't see any reason for that to be legit. I'll end the show. Ash from Nature Infused, embrace the journey. Okay, so this is the last question I'm going to answer. I don't believe they can shapeshift. I have no evidence of that. However, oh my goodness, I'm going to get a little woo. This is very woo. My apologies. I think they can get into the minds of birds, of squirrels, butterflies. I sound like a crazy man. But I'll tell you guys, legitimately, I don't know if James Penner was there. I had three expeditioners, three very amazing men out with me on expedition. And I took a rock. I said this before, but just I need you guys to listen. I was rock knocking back to a Sasquatch, and I was demonstrating how hard it is to make a sound like they do. So I took it. I can't remember if my right or left hand. I can't remember which hand anymore. It's so healed. And I smashed the tree way too hard, and it resonated in my wrist and seriously damaged it. I was like, "Oh no!" I'm talking lifetime injury here. Have you ever had a lifetime injury where you go, "Man, like that was in the joint"? I felt cracking and damage. I was like, "Oh no!" Swelling up. I was like, "What the hell have I done?" So I go and I sit down. I'm really upset. There are Sasquatch around. That's why I was rock knocking. Two freaking butterflies fly onto my wrist and start dancing around on my wrist and healed it. And it was a freaking miracle. And I don't care if people call me crazy. I have witnesses that saw this. They saw my wrist swelling up. They saw me in pain going, "Oh my God." I was trying to downplay it, but they were like, "Dude, that's bad." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really bad." We had no ice that I could think of. I was just like, "Man, what the hell have I done?" Ice wasn't going to help it. I could feel it in the bone, and the cartilage was damaged. It was so bad. And the two butterflies dancing around on the exact wrist. Even the pain went away on the wrist side, but the bone side still hurt. But that butterfly flew away, and the other one stayed a little longer, dancing around my wrist like you've never seen, like weird. Pain gone. I believe the Sasquatch did that. I have other evidence of that with squirrels, with birds, with little things that I believe the Sasquatch were communicating through these beings. And even in that case, that's probably the craziest miracle I've ever heard with like getting into the mind of an animal or an insect in this case, and then having it cause a cleansing of energy. Um, I would think if I heard somebody say that, I would think they're probably half nuts. But um, please forgive me if that's beyond your capacity to understand and appreciate. I'm telling you, this is what I have to factually tell you. I have evidence. People heard that, saw that, witnessed it, and no pain. And to this day, I don't even know which wrist it was anymore. After those butterflies flew away from my wrist, no pain, zero pain. I've been an athlete. I've been smashed. I've played football. I played rugby. I played contact sports all my life. I've rock climbed. I've smashed my body and bashed it and wrecked it and damaged it 1,000 times over, doing the craziest stuff: skydiving, whitewater rafting, just nut stuff. I know what a permanent lifetime injury is. I have a couple. That was going to be one, and the pain was gone after those butterflies came out. I even felt in my head the Sasquatch saying, we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. You were being good. You were being positive. We are not going to allow that injury to stay. I felt that in my head, and then boom, the butterflies show up and I'm healed. So the facts are what I stated. Did a Sasquatch do that? I feel they did. I have other knowledge of them doing stuff like that. A freaking miracle happened though. That was an absolute miracle. Can you imagine what they're if that I know that's real. I don't know. I don't want to say if that's real. Of course it was real. But if with the ability to do something like that with butterflies, what could they heal? I've had people call me and say, my son can't walk, or we have this serious cancer thing. Can Sasquatch save us? I don't know what to say. Because I tell them, because this is hard for me. I tell them I can't guarantee anything, and I'd prefer not to get involved in this. Because the truth is, I know they can heal that stuff. Jason Shute had a miracle happen up on radium, wasted his knee, wasn't even like the brutal radium Bigfoot hike that I've taken up Survivor Man on. Brutal hike. He's up there, knee swollen, knee hurting. Sasquatch took care of it just like that. Came, touched his head, touched his knee, boom, no knee pain to this day. Like that is a freaking miracle. I could go on about many other things that I've been around, that I've been involved with, that I've seen them do stuff like that. And if everything is energy, guys, and if it just they clean that energy up, it's a freaking miracle. And these beings are capable of stuff like that. So that's me getting a little woo. If you don't appreciate the woo, that's cool. I'm very grounded in science as well. Please be patient with me because the science is moving, the science is growing. And this is paranormal. Sasquatch are not accepted as a reality in the scientific community, kind of. It's a de facto discovery. We won't get into that too much today. But thank you so much for your support. I had a wonderful live show today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's super awesome to have Ashley back. Look at her go. She's all over the place here. How many questions? Ashley is going to shoot me. Oh my God. So many questions I didn't get to. But yeah, I'll be back next week. And next week. So I can't promise 1,000% I'll be back next week. But if I am back next week, guess where I'll be? I'll be out in the wilderness. So as long as the the internet goes up and the star length and Elon Musk, I've been relying on him for many years. He always comes through. So 99% chance I'll be doing a live show. I don't know if anybody else is going to participate in it with who's out there with me, but I'm very excited to be out on the very first, the maiden expedition next week. So much more to come. I need you all to just take a moment, put your hand over your heart, take a breath with me, and let's really manifest. Let's pray for a great 2025, a year that's unprecedented in the discovery of Sasquatch. So even detractors are not, just, you know what, pray for the truth to be revealed, and then we could all be good, right? For those of you who know Sasquatch are real, let's pray for another level in this discovery process. It's going to shake up the whole world. I want to shake up the whole world with the most incredible piece of evidence somewhere from someone, if not me, not Ashley, if not the expeditioners that are coming out with me, if not James Penner, if not, I don't know who. Just wish for that really incredible, mind blowing, awesome new piece of evidence. You know, that's what I pray for. So thank you for that. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself.